Oh, wow. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been waiting for this day. I've been waiting eagerly for this day, for this headline. Barcelona charged with corruption over payments to former referees chief. It could not have happened to a better club. It really could not have happened to a better club, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we're going to delve very deep into all of this information that's floating around in regards to Barcelona, and now Real Madrid are chiming in. They want to ensure that Barcelona is in the mud. But I'm not surprised. I am not one bit surprised. These guys, they've done some heinous activity. They really have, and they've finally been caught out. I don't know what has triggered them. Look, I'm pretty certain they're going to somehow squeeze out of it and potentially just pay some fines. Maybe some of the people that were involved previously in this particular mess. This mess was somewhere around maybe 5 years ago. We'll get into the details very soon. The current mob that's running the Barcelona show right now, they're not going to be in trouble. It's the older mob, the Bartomeu. I think that's his name. I think the current one is Laporte. I don't think he's in trouble. So look, we'll see what happens. Are Barcelona going to get their La Ligas and all of those trophies stretching back all the way from I think 2004 onwards till about 2014 or 15, something like that? Are they going to get all of that stripped off? We'll see what happens. But these guys, man, I will not forget that controversial moment, man. 2009, 2008-2009 season, the Champions League, when Didier Drogba, when you faced Barcelona in the semi-finals. I know this corruption is in relation to their activities in the La Liga, but I've got no doubts that Barcelona have done corrupt activity, carried out corruption in European stage as well, because I will never forget that particular semi-final where we should have had at least four penalties, and Didier Drogba post-match saying it's an effing disgrace. I mean, literally the referee was there to ensure that Barcelona somehow gets a victory, and luckily enough with Iniesta, and look, they've got enough quality to get that one goal, and they did right at the end. And the referee years later, and we're going to look into the article stating that, yeah, maybe, just maybe, I had an off day. It was very uncharacteristic of me. But we know what you did. And it's not just against us. There have been other clubs that have been done. I remember even Arsenal being done once. There was a moment where Robin van Persie, he didn't hear the whistle and took a shot, and the referee just gave him a second yellow and sent him off. And there's been many other instances, and I've got no doubts in the La Liga they've done this. So let's get in on the act, ladies and gentlemen. Let's really start understanding this case. First up, Football Daily breaking: Barcelona have been charged with corruption for payments made to former referee Jose, I think it's Jose Spanish, Jose María Enrique Negreira, Negreira. Former Barcelona president Jose María Bartomeu, this is the one I was talking about, and Sandro Rosell have been charged. So the former ones have been charged, not the current ones. Let's listen on what's been said from the start of this particular saga.
Well, wow, we are finishing Total Football with some major breaking stories. We told you about Gary Lineker stepping back from presenting Match of the Day, and now
talking about my
huge news as far as the La Liga leaders, Barcelona, are concerned. They have been charged with corruption for payments made to a former referee. Barcelona's Public Prosecutor's Office has charged the club over payments made to José María Enrique Negreira. Now, Negreira is, as I mentioned, a former referee. He was also vice president of Spain's Referees Committee between 1994 and 2018. The Spanish broadcaster Ser Catalunya has been at the heart of this story. They reported last month that Barcelona had paid £7.4 million to Negreira and his company, Dasnel 95, between 2001 and 2018. Barcelona say the payments were for Negreira's work as a technical refereeing consultant. Negreira has also been charged, along with former Barca presidents José María Bartomeu and Sandro, Rosell. So Barcelona charged with corruption for payments made to a former referee.
Wow. Barcelona charged for corruption due to making payments to a former referee for supposedly for technical consultancy. Yeah, sure. You're paying a referee for technical consultancy. Please, please, please save us from all of this nonsense. I'm not surprised, man. As I said, these guys, you saw what they did last summer as well with all the economic levers. I don't understand how the governing bodies, whether it's UEFA or whoever else that are in charge, I mean, the La Liga people as well, how are they allowing all of these levers, literally selling your soul? You can sell broadcasting rights, you can sell audio visual rights, you can sell some parts of the stadium, you can sell some parts of your academy, you can have it's mad. They don't at the moment. I don't think they own anything. I really don't think they own anything. And how they're allowed to do this, and still, so many players that they've not paid wages and they've had to forego wages. Like they owe players wages and they've somehow managed to squeeze out of it. And God knows how much under the table payments they've made to previous players as well. I don't know, because how are they affording all this? There was some unbelievable exorbitant amount of salaries that was getting paid to Messi, Suarez, Coutinho, and the list goes on and on and on. I don't know how this club has. I know they're a historic club. I know they've won a lot of stuff, but in order for you to maintain that level of wages and with all the transfers that they've done as well, 150 million, this, that, Osman Dembele was a lot of money. Coutinho was a lot of money that they paid for. What's his name from France? Antoine Griezmann as well was a lot of money. I don't know how they're doing this. Clearly, there is financial, you know, manipulation that's been going on. But now we know that they've been doing some manipulations with referee as well to get some favorable decisions their way. And I've seen it. I've seen it plenty of times, whether it's in La Liga, whether it's in Europe, they get away with murder. They really do. Let's have a look at what Zach Lowy is saying. Zach Lowy, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not following Zach Lowy, please follow Zach Lowy. He covers these type of news very, very well, and he's on top of this Barcelona situation. FC Barcelona paid money to the company of José María Enrique Negreira. So that they paid money to the company that this, the former vice president of Spain's refereeing committee. I mean, talk about how they try to sneak around the whole situation so it's not obvious that they've directly paid this particular brother. They paid one of the companies and they finally got caught. In exchange for that money, they would receive favorable actions, including the hiring of referees and refereeing decisions during matches. I truly hope this football club gets done. I truly, truly hope they get done, because what audacity they have, man. I mean, there's a limit to arrogancy, but this is criminal activity. Do you know what I mean? And Zach Lowy, he speaks Spanish, and I think he's pretty much translated this, which says favorable decisions. Further goes on to say, I think he's going to cover this with a couple of journalists very soon. This is an incredibly complex and thorough case, and it is one of the biggest stories in football. I'll be discussing the Negreira case with two of the best La Liga journalists on Twitter, in Miller Colin and this other person, next week. If you have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, if you have some questions, put that across and check out some of the comments as well. And this one as well is quite interesting. Barcelona paid 7.3 million to Negreira's company between 2001 and 2018. They're being charged with corruption by the Spanish prosecutors. There's a list, I think, of the transactions, I believe, that was found. So quite incredible scenes, honestly. Someone was saying, they replied something. Give me 1 second. I'm going to try and show this to you, because obviously there's some Barcelona fans. They don't want to believe all this. Barca fans right now, they're very quiet. They're very, very quiet. And I think one of them here is saying, look, check this out. False. There's no accusation of referees paid for favorable decision. And Zach Lowe is saying, I speak Spanish. La toma de decision is literally means decision making. There you go. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. This is what I was talking about, ladies and gentlemen. The controversial moment that we had with Barcelona back in 2009. And Gus Hiddink, not that long ago, actually came out and spoke about this. Let's have a quick look. This is that moment Didier Drogba infamously confronted the officials after the match, branding their performance a effing disgrace while Chelsea. I still remember this match, man. This was mad. This match was absolutely mad. Obrevo suffered death threats in the aftermath. Look, no one wishes death threat on anyone, but my brother, you brought this on yourself because you did a madness. Hiddink told Ziggo Sport the referee performance surprised me because in the past he'd had perfect performances. Is it the worst refereeing I've ever seen? I think so. Further, he goes on to say, this is the only time I thought a match could have been fixed. I mean, who's Hiddink? He's saying, this was said recently, I think a couple of years ago. While Florent Malouda and Drogba's penalty shouts fell somewhere in the seen them given category, handballs from Gerard Piqué and Samuel Eto'o were stonewall. Handballs weren't given either. It was not my best day. This is Obrevo. It remains one of the most controversial refereeing displays in recent history, and Obrevo has since owned up to his mistake as well. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? After all of these years, in 2018, he said this. It was not my best day. Really, Obrevo told Spanish newspaper Marca in 2018. But those mistakes can be committed by a referee and sometimes a player or a coach. Some days you are not at the level you should be. Please, spare me your excuses, because what you did was not just one odd mistake. You had multiple mistakes. This is from the Athletic. Barcelona charged with corruption over payments to former referees chief. I just want to show you guys, a lot of people are thinking what happens now. So this is what I wanted to focus on. If Barca found guilty, what might happen? News emerged in mid-February that prosecutors were investigating payments made by Barca to Dasnil 95, a company owned by Enríquez Negreira between 2001 and 2018. They began their investigations in May 2022 when tax inspectors alerted them to alleged irregularities in Dansel's financial records. On Friday, prosecutors put a finger on the total value of these payments. Over 7.3 million euros was paid by Barca to Dansel and a second company owned by Enríquez Negreira Nilsson. They got caught when it came to taxations, when the auditing was done. Barcelona as a legal entity have now been charged with the crime of continued corruption in business. Continued corruption, because it was over a span of time. They're in big trouble. I honestly hope they get decimated. I really do. I hate saying this about a particular club, but this is beyond the limit now. This honestly has gone beyond the limit. The Spanish law relating to this crime was established in 2010. Sorry, I was saying prior to 2010. No, so it was established in 2010. Since 2015, it's included a specific section targeting corruption in sport when it is suspected an attempt has been made to predetermine or alter in a deliberate and fraudulent manner the result of a match or competition. Wow. Predetermine or alter in a deliberate and fraudulent manner the result of a match or competition. There you go. Continued corruption means the crime is believed to have taken place over a sustained period rather than being a one-off. This is why it's so serious, because it was continued. It wasn't just a one-off thing. This means the potential punishments are bigger and can include up to 4 years in prison for individuals or professional disqualifications and fines for the groups or enterprises. Some people are thinking, are they going to lose? Are they going to lose their trophies during that time? And this is the tweet that's sort of come through. It's a bit of a banter from Real Madrid fans. Barca gave the biggest corruption scandal in sporting history. If proven guilty, Barca would be divested of their all titles in that time period, which includes 10 La Liga, 7 Copa del Rey, 7 Super Cup. Messi would be left with 2 Uber Eats Cups only. Look, now that's not the case. There's a bit of banter, as you saw. At the moment, the worst can be is basically jail time and heavy fines, obviously. But I think the reason being, and it's written here. Let me just quickly show you guys the reason why La Liga can't do anything about it is because it has happened more than 3 years ago. Here we go. In terms of other sporting punishments, so it's right here. In terms of other sporting punishments, La Liga has already said it cannot investigate because the case relates to events that took place more than 3 years ago. I don't know why they have this rule. It's not possible for there to be any sportive punishment from our side. La Liga President Javier Tebas said, when news of a scandal broke in February, it's been 5 years since those payments stopped, and these kind of breaches are time barred in our rule book 3 years after taking place. This is the BS. They're going to potentially get away with it, and I truly hope they don't. I don't care if it's the people that are going to get jailed, that were working for Barcelona previously, like in the sense of Bartomeu and this other brother, who are potentially facing jail time. But I hope Barcelona get done in the future. Some point deductions. I don't know. Maybe even get relegated. I don't know. But it looks like La Liga, they're not going to do anything about it. However, ladies and gentlemen, check this out. Check this out. Breaking Real Madrid president. This was yesterday. Real Madrid, they know when they have their biggest rival, their greatest rival in the mud, they want to ensure that they are making sure that the right decision is being made. So Real Madrid is going to stamp their foot right on the throat as deep as possible. Real Madrid President Florentino Perez will host an urgent meeting tomorrow in order to decide on the club's appropriate course of action following Barcelona's corruption charge for payments made to former referee José María Enríquez Negreira. Let's listen in on this right now.
Another breaking story for you this Saturday morning, and it regards the situation in Spanish football right now. The Real Madrid president, Florentino Perez, will host what they call an urgent meeting of the board of directors tomorrow in order to decide on Real Madrid's appropriate course of action. This after news yesterday that the Barcelona prosecution service has charged FC Barcelona with corruption for payments made to a former referee. It relates to José María Enríquez Negreira, who is a former referee and vice president of Spain's referees committee between 1994 and 2018. There is one Spanish outlet that's been at the centre of this story. It's the broadcaster Ser Catalunya, that reported last month that Barcelona paid £7.4 million to Negreira and his company Dasnal 95 between 2001 and 2018. Barcelona FC, for their part, said the payments were for Negreira's work as a technical refereeing consultant. He himself, Negreira, has also been charged along with former Barca presidents José María Bartomeu and also Sandro, Rosell. So Real Madrid, and particularly their president Florentino Perez, considering their next step and what they will do is what they call an appropriate course of action. Interestingly, who plays next weekend? It's El Clasico. It is Real Madrid and Barcelona playing once again.
Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Look, Barcelona, they deserve to get done. Honestly, they do. I know that football club has been involved in. You can just tell. You can tell not only all the stuff that they did last summer, the levers, the economic levers that they've been pulling. I don't know how the number of players that they didn't pay and the number of players that probably played under the table. I mean, they had the audacity recently when they got knocked out from the Champions League and they got sent to Europa League playoff and they lost that as well. They had the audacity last summer to ask for the money that they're going to earn from Champions League next season. They wanted to get the money up front this season. This is the audacity of this football club. They're in such financial strife. They're asking UEFA to pay next season's Champions League payment right now. And I think they've even asked for like round of 16 payments because they're very confident that they're going to make through. Like, it's actually mad. It's actually mad. I'm pretty certain I read that somewhere. It's either getting the payment to qualify, or I think even round of 16th payment because they're confident. And I wouldn't put it past that. They're so damn arrogant, man. This football club is so damn arrogant. Look, I love watching them. They play some lovely football. There's no doubt about that. The football aside, they play lovely football. But there is hella corruption involved in that particular football club. So look, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be quite interesting to follow exactly what happens to Barcelona. I'm going to make sure that I'm on top of this, and I'll try my level best to bring you all the latest. I think it's a good one to follow. It's a good one to follow because this team, we got history. Yeah, they've screwed us around too many times in the Champions League. I know we got one up on them in 2012, but I won't forget that particular 2009. Champions League. And as I said, we're not the only clubs that have done this. They've done this to other clubs as well. Ladies and gentlemen, hope you've enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you have. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all the content from this channel. Miz TV, Total Football. Subscribe. Till next time. See ya. Let me know what you think about it as well in the comment section. I would love to hear from you guys. 100%.